Warning. The following video is not intended for an audience under the age of 13. Do not watch the video without a guardian or parent present. That is all.
Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue. It's the end of the year and the decade, too. Hey guys, Firebright27 here, and welcome to the end of yet another year, and indeed, the decade. So, what am I gonna do for my last video of the decade? Well, I would love to do a top 10 Transformers from the past 10 years of collecting, but unfortunately I've only been collecting for the past year and a half, so that ain't happening. But what I can do is just a rundown of all the bots I've gotten this year, specifically the 10 best bots I've gotten this year. Now then, as per usual, it's just robots that I got during this year and not, like, robots that just came out in this year, with the caveat that there are no bots. I mean, if I had to include those on this list, well, I'll just let you look at the spreadsheet I made for all the robots I got this year and have a look for yourself. Between getting my own credit card and several Amazon gift cards and such, the year has proven a boon for my collection. So I made myself a few rules: no Battle Masters or Legion figures, no Legends figures, and most of all, no bots. Now then, with that out of the way, it's time to rewind to my best TF finds. I received this figure for Christmas, so I'm uncertain as to whether or not it's extremely good, but so far I have enjoyed playing with it a great deal. I haven't been able to judge its objective quality quite yet because it's so new, but there's something about a triple changing, pink and purple, massive Decepticon that just kind of appeals to me, you know? And yes, I have heard of the listings, and yes, I am extremely excited for Snapdragon, and Double Dealer, and the Quintesson. I am of the belief that it would behoove of me to postpone verbalizing my thoughts on this figure until such a time where I can appropriately create a video review. Now then, I was originally going to give this spot to the Weaponizers. However, the list has a bit of siege on it already, and I just don't want it to be a bit monotone, so to speak. So instead, I'm giving it to Cybertron Dirt Boss. Mostly because he's got a cool color scheme that's pretty rare, some nice light piping, and, well, he's my first Cybertron toy. Cybertron is well known for being a great toy line. But yes, this figure will most certainly get a review in the future. Though, don't expect me to make the "our worlds are in danger" meme. I don't get it, and honestly, that's the only reason why it's not going to be in the review. I just don't get it. It's not funny. However, if I do a review of this figure, I doubt the comment section will let me forget about that meme. Ever. I had a lot of fun reviewing this figure, if the 10 or so minutes I spent blabbering on about it didn't give you that impression. And he certainly represents the big, dumb, ugly aspect of the Bayverse designs. Well, in my collection, that is. I mean, I did briefly have KSI Sentry, but it took me just 3 minutes to fall out of love with that and return it to the store. And if I'm being honest, sometimes reviewing a figure makes it all the more special to you. Now then, seeing as this is my first ever Beast Wars figure, I would of course love to put it slightly higher on the list. However, the thing that stops me from doing so is that unfortunately she is missing one of the pontoons for the wings. And due to my own stupid rules, it means I can't review her until I've acquired it. But having said that, Transmetal Air Razor is really fun, and of course she has this ridiculous tattoo of her own name on her body, but that's kind of the charm of 90s toys, or at least 90s Transformers. And of course, someone decided to be helpful and tried panel lining one of the things on her wings, but hey, I'm not mad about that, and I should be able to get it out easy enough. And of course, I get that she isn't exactly perfect, but I don't think I made an air razor in judgment when I picked this thing up.
Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine. Ha-ha!
The instant I saw this figure in Thew's review of Prime Wheeljack, I knew I had to have it. And getting this figure complete and with instructions on eBay for relatively cheap just felt so gratifying, and it made me super happy. And as a matter of fact, I'm planning on reviewing this for my Halloween episode in 2020, so stay tuned for that. And he is a crazy sort of samurai voodoo zombie samurai thing with light piping and a green screaming face, and it's so cool. And it is so awesome.
End of the world!
So as I think we are all mostly aware by this point, the Bumblebee movie toys kinda dropped the ball a little. But the instant I saw the car version of Dropkick, I kinda needed to have it. Mostly because Dropkick is A, my favorite character in that movie, and B, this figure actually looks like Dropkick. Not only that, but it's the only Deluxe Class Studio Series figure that I've been able to transform into car mode successfully. Never mind the fact that I've kinda lost the gun for his arm, but it's a quality figure all around. Anyways, I'm gonna take a little break, but in the meantime, here are a few artists on Twitter that I think you might want to follow because I think their art is nice. This is another figure that I had a lot of fun reviewing. And I'm aware it isn't perfect, but, well, it's one of the easiest Studio Series figures to transform, and, well, my idiot brain kind of appreciates that. It's also here because it was the first video review that I ever did, which I felt totally satisfied with. Also, the Dark of the Moon / Revenge of the Fallen tattoos really bring out this figure's personality. On to the next one. Now, I'm extremely aware of the fact that the output on this figure is kinda half-assed, but still like it. I mean, the trigger finger here and the ability to eject the cassettes from his chest is pretty fun. Never mind the fact that the output's kind of half-assed, but still, it's a really good figure. And speaking of the cassettes, now then, these four are here because they legitimately surprised me. I wasn't expecting to have very much fun with the G1 toys, and to be perfectly honest, I really dislike the cartoon, and I think I can't be bothered for that. But still, these figures were an incredible experience that sort of taught me that G1 isn't bad as a whole. It's just the cartoon that's bad. God, not again. Will you guys stop it with the pitchforks and torches? Anyways, deploy screen transition, operation, next entry. Now then, this figure has been a bit of a controversial one, hasn't it? First we vote on it, then Hasbro releases an individual version of this toy, along with a figure in a box set, and then they release Spinister, who was supposed to come out with Wheeljack, and oh god, it was kind of a mess, wasn't it? But in the end, the figure that we got was fan-freaking-tastic. I have never before seen like a gimmick-free tank former that in a deluxe scale. I mean, Voyager Megatron is something, and not the best figure of all time, but still, this figure was a lot of fun to play with and fiddle around with. Unfortunately, I'd love to include his sort of like wave mate slash pack mate Mirage, but yeah. Though, I still stand by it that that thing is more anatomically correct than the Classics Mirage. At number 2, we have a three-way tie between Ironhide, Ratchet, and Crosshairs. Ironhide's base mold by itself is pretty darn fantastic, and I'm confident in saying that it's one of the best deluxes of the year. However, I also really like what they did with the repaints. Even though Ratchet and Ironhide are basically the same figure, the remolded parts and the new color scheme and the new head, which I painted red just because I didn't think the white one was nice looking enough, really look distinct from Ironhide. They make it feel like a completely different figure, as do the accessories, which is really weird because you wouldn't expect 3 new accessories to like really change the whole vibe of the figure. Also, something you can really do with that's pretty cool with this is you can create or recreate the little missile thingy from the G1 figure. And as you may also be aware, you can also create like a fan mode that echoes the Diaclone figure, but still, it's really cool. And Crosshairs I like because, well, he takes the same figure and mold as those two and makes it feel like another new figure without any new parts. Like, all it takes is a new color scheme and that's it. It feels like a different character and figure altogether. In fact, I may actually do individual reviews for these two. Just because, well, they're that cool, and I think I'd have enough to say about them to justify making another review. But with that being said, it's time for the finale. Man, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but it's a tie between Generation Scourge and Flywheels. Or Skytread, technically. Now, and Skytread's here because I like playing him, and of course Scourge is here because I had a lot of fun reviewing him. Thank you again, Takanuva. But yeah, I've had an equal amount of fun with these two figures for different reasons. And honestly, I think that's why they're both worthy of being number 1 on this list. So with that being said, this is Firebite27, saying goodbye and farewell for the rest of the decade to my lovely 115 subscribers. And of course, if you disagree with my choices, don't be afraid to make your own video explaining your top 12 or 10 favorite Transformers you got this year. Or tell me in the comments what your favorites were. With that being said, please remember to like the video, comment, share it with your friends, of course subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, and to ring the notification bell to know when I'm posting the next video. And happy 2019 everyone, and an even better 2020 to everyone.